Hello and welcome. My name is Keith. I appreciate everyone attending the webinar that we've got going today. Today we'll be talking about the Perpetual Futures platform and a little bit about how to use it. We'll be talking about some of the key features. We'll also be going over the differentiators and the reasons why we believe the YDF Perps platform is better than a lot of the traditional offerings in the market. We'll also be sharing some insights and talking a little bit about how to manage your position, potential strategies, things you might need to think through as you're opening positions. And then we'll leave some time at the end for Q&A. We definitely want to hear from you. We appreciate and love the community. And as you guys all know, if you've been in the community for any amount of time, we very much appreciate and want to answer any and all questions that you have. So without further ado, I will go ahead and jump in. So you guys should see my screen. This is new for us. We're very excited to be able to actually do a webinar in this format where we can show the screen and actually click through some things and demonstrate how the platform works. So hopefully if you've thought about using it, wasn't sure about what some of the features were and needed a little bit of training, so to speak, then hopefully this will clear that up. All right. So in general, what is the Perps platform? Yieldification as a project is it's basically a DeFi project that has some very unique functionality and logic built into it from an NFT perspective. And so Yieldification also offers users the ability to stake their YDF and receive rewards from that. And the way we fund those rewards is through the revenue that we generate in the various modules in the platform. So we have a lot more to offer besides the Perps platform, but it is one of the sort of key features that the platform has to offer. So what you'll do if you have ever worked with DeFi at all, you're probably familiar with this process. But the first thing you'll want to do, obviously, is fund a wallet. MetaMask is the wallet that I use. There's other opportunities, or there's other options out there. But you'll want to fund a wallet with some ETH. We also recommend that you do this on the Arbitrum network. You can do this on the ETH mainnet, but it's going to cost a lot more. So all of those clicks and all of the gas fees are much higher. So we recommend using Arbitrum. It's pennies to the dollar compared to ETH mainnet. And so what you're going to do is come in here, connect your wallet. I've already got a wallet set up here. And once you're connected, you should see it populate up here. If you have YDF sitting in your wallet, you should see that show up here. If you have any NFTs staked, those values will show up here. Again, spend some time on the platform, click through some of these things, but we'll jump right into the features. So we're going to click on this little icon here. It's a little bar chart with the little graph above it. And what you should see is a view that you're probably familiar with, which is this trading view. So what I'm going to do now is talk about the sort of buttons and features on the side and what those actually mean. Before I do that, I also wanted to demonstrate that you can basically mark this up as you would any other trading view sort of widget. So this thing gives you the ability to do all the things you would expect. You can draw your lines, you can add your functions, your indicators, all the things, right? I am by no means an expert. I'm not going to sit and tell you the things you should do. Please, please, please know that anything we say in this webinar is not financial advice. But if you are skilled in this way and you think that you have what it takes to come in here and predict what some currency is going to do or what some pair is going to do, you have the tools to do that. You can also pop this out. A lot of people miss this button. I do actually really like this button. It gives you a full screen view of the chart. So if you really want to dig in on some of the analysis and leverage some of these tools here to figure out what these pairs are going to do, this is a great way to do that. You can adjust the candles up here, all of these things. So again, if you've been in really any kind of trading scenario very much, then you've seen this chart, you've seen these tools. There's always more to learn. I definitely recommend buying some books, watching some YouTube videos, educating yourself on trading strategies. But today we're really just going to focus on how to trade, how to open positions within the platform. So the first thing I want to call out is at the very top, you have the position. So one thing that's really cool about YDF is we can add all kinds of different positions, all kinds of different pairs. We've got a lot to choose from already. Some of your favorite tokens that you have heard of and probably been in. Some of the lesser known tokens, you know, obviously the chief token of them all, Bitcoin, is here. We've got Ethereum. I like to watch Ethereum. We've got Phantom, GMX. So there's a bunch of different pairs. I did also want to call out, there's a few like commodities and other things in here as well. So there's gold, there's silver. There's a few things that are not crypto related, and that will also expand over time. We're going to continue to add various positions that people enjoy trading against. So for the demo, we're just going to stick with ETH. And the next button down here is the order type. So I want to show you the difference here. So an order type, a market order type is basically, I want to open a position and I want to open it right now based on whatever the price is at the time that I click open, right? A limit order is going to be, I want to open a position at a particular price. So let's say, for example, I'm looking at this chart. It's at 22.38. I say, you know what? I think this thing's going to pump up to 2,500, right? And then it's going to drop hard. Now, I know that would be a ridiculous move for Ethereum, but for simple math here, tell you what, let me zoom in and make some more realistic numbers for us. So let's say that we think it's gonna move up to 2,300 and then drop hard. That's what we think is gonna happen. So what I would do is I would say I want to open a position at 2,300 and I want to short. So I'll talk about what these mean as well. A long means that you think that the price will continue to go up, right? You think that the chart will go up and to the right. A short means you think it's going to go down and to the right. So simply put, that's what those mean. You're essentially betting on the future of this price. So that's what it is. It's perpetual in that you don't have to close your position as long as you have the collateral to cover it. And it's futures in that we are betting on the future. So, so we're going to set a limit order for 2,300. That's a short. And we're going to bet, how about 1,000 promo YDF? And if you guys don't know what these are, jump in the Telegram. We'll talk through what these are. But this is basically a promotional currency that we have. It is not liquid. You cannot trade promo YDF. You can send it around, but there's nowhere to trade it. There's no pairs to trade against. However, if you have promo YDF, you can bet it in the platform. And if you win, if you come out ahead, we pay you in real YDF, which is very liquid. So promo YDF, really cool concept. So we're going to click, we'll put 1,000 promo YDF on a short with a limit order that's opening at 2,300. We are completely degen, so we're going to go 150x leverage here. Also, remember referral codes. If you are fortunate enough to be here because someone mentioned this on Twitter and they shared their referral code, do them a solid, plug that code in here. And then down here, you'll see the info. So this is basically the readout of all the information you need to be tracking. So the collateral, this is what you're putting up, right, as collateral. This is what you stand to lose if your position closes. The open price, this is the price that you set to open. Since it's a limit order, it's dead solid on 2,300. The liquidation price, this is the price that if it goes to that after it opens, it will close the position and liquidate you. I want to talk about this because the reason that it's such a narrow margin here, notice it's only $13.80. You say, wow, that's a really tight window. However, notice if I bring the leverage down, that number drops, or that number gives us a lot more margin, right? And the reason why, and this is some basic math for you, is give or take a bit, because there's fees involved, there's a spread, there's things like that. You can read all about that in the documentation. But suffice to say, for general back of the napkin math, the way that leverage works is pretty straightforward. So you could say 150 divided by 100. Oops, sorry. 100 divided by 150 is 0.66. What this means is that that price from your mark, from your open price, needs to move 0.66% in order for it to liquidate. If it was 100, so if you had 100x leverage, the price would need to move 1%. And the reason why is you're only putting up 1,000, but you're opening a position as if it's 150,000. So that's how leverage works. So if that's a foreign concept to you, spend some time trying to kind of wrap your head around it, think about it. It can be great. It can be awesome if things go the way that you predicted. It can also wreck you. So make sure that you know what you're doing here with leverage. I am tongue in cheek about being total degen. A lot of us really are, but I do really recommend looking into some more sensible strategies. 20x, 30x, things like that. I see a lot of those positions that tend to do really well. So think about that stuff. Again, it's going to open the short with 150,000 YDF because of our leverage. There's an open fee of 150 promo YDF, and there's a borrow fee of 7.5 promo YDF per hour. So remember, the longer you have a position open, the more fees you're accruing. And if things are moving in your direction, that's fine, right? Because you are winning more than it takes to keep that position open. But just know that these could sneak up on you if you're going to let something sit for a week or two. Make sure that you're tracking what these numbers are, and you've got an idea in your head of where you stand. Now, at any given point, I'm going to go ahead and open this actually. So you'll click confirm trade. We'll hit open limit order. It's going to prompt you in MetaMask or whatever you're using. Again, these are all MetaMask features. This is how you approve transactions. We're going to approve that. Give it just a second, and it's going to ask to confirm that. And there we go. We're going to confirm that. And so with that, we have put in the limit order. So we'll see that once that finalizes here in a second, show up in my limit orders. There it is. So now we can see our limit order. It's set to open at 2,300. If and when the price actually hits 2,300, this will open. All of those things will kick in. Now, if I said, you know what, this thing is going down, 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 I'm just wasting time, or actually I think it's going to just shoot up and go way past 2,300, I could just as easily remove it, right? Again, you'll need to confirm that in your wallet, but that's how that works. So we'll leave it there for now. But once you open positions, once you have limit orders in place and set to open, you can see all those things down here. So I opened a position shortly before our webinar started. This one I opened like this. It was a market order. I think I put a short on it. So I'm going to walk through that again. We'll say a market order. It's a long. Feeling pretty good about this one. So I'm going to do 2,000 at, we'll say 75x leverage, because maybe I am not feeling quite as bullish about my prediction abilities right now. So I'm going to say confirm, open, done. So that's how easy it is to open positions. Now, one thing I definitely want to talk about is management strategies. So it's not just open it and sit back and hope that things go your way, right? There's a lot of things that you can do here. Once you open a position, you can set a take profit or a stop loss. So you could basically put a collar around your actual position. So what this means is, let's say if this thing goes to, let's see, I've got it's open right now. I opened it at 22.39. Here, let's do the other one because it's a little different. Here we go. So I opened this one at 22.41. The price is going down. It's starting to make me a little nervous. I know that I'm going to get liquidated on this one at 22.16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if this hits 22.25, I want to keep some of my funds, right? I don't want to lose everything. Say 22.30. Then if it hits 22.30, I want it to go ahead and close the position and pull out whatever I've got left. So this is a stop loss, and it gives you all, does all the math for you here, shows you what that looks like, tells you the value at close. So I put in 2,000, I'm getting about 1,000 back. I can add that in, confirm. Again, it's about 10 or 20 cents to do these things. just like that. Now I could also set a take profit. If things start going my way, I don't want to be greedy. I want to programmatically take my profit out and make sure that I am not um, letting it sit for too long. So I could come in here and I could also say, I want to configure a take profit. So I think this thing's going to go all the way up to 2,300, but I don't want to be greedy. So I'm going to say 2,275. When I add that in, confirm. So that's awesome, right? So now you can see I've got a position open. It was opened at 22.41. The price is down just a hair. I'm getting liquidated at 22.16, but I'm not worried about that because I have a stop loss set at 22.30. So this is my collar that I've put on here. Now you don't have to put both. You don't have to put either one, but they're there for you if you want to set these. Some people, again, are just total degen and they love to slang the max leverage with no take profit or stop loss, and more power to you. It's risky, but hey, it pays off for some people. Now, the other thing I want to call out is, I've been watching this position, and let's say, for example, that my position is going down. I still have conviction. Like so we'll look at my long here. Let's say that this thing gets down to 22.32, and I say, man, I really, really think that this thing is going to bounce. I think it's going to go down to maybe 22.20, and it's going to bounce way up. But I am scared to let that ride because I don't necessarily have enough to cover it if it gets close to that liquidation price. What you can do, oh, sorry about that. What you can do, one second, disconnect. There we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. So what you can do, if you still have conviction on your play, but you don't have enough collateral to cover it through what you think it's going to do, you can actually add to your position. Okay, so what that means is I've got 16,000 of my promo YDF left. I really believe that this thing is going to keep going. So I want to double down on this. So I put in 2,000 to start with at 75x leverage. Now I'm going to put another 2,000 in, but I'm going to max leverage. Okay. I want you to understand what's going on here. This is extremely complex math. Well, for us manually, it's simple for a computer, but it's a lot of math to try to do by hand. And this is giving you the readouts of all the stuff you need to know about what this does. So what you're basically doing is you're putting more collateral in. You're setting another point of leverage. So now with this, I'm going to increase my position size to a total of 438,000. It's going to set a new liquidation price of 22.24 because I am leveraging this so much. Now I could set a lower leverage if I wanted to, and that would bring my liquidation price down. So remember, I set it to 75. So if I go to 75, the liquidation price pretty much doesn't change, right? It's 22.16 is my liquidation, so that doesn't really change. But if I have less leverage, what that's doing is it's giving me more breathing room on the liquidation, right? But it's also adding in less leveraged funds. So just understand how this works. This can do a lot of great stuff for you. It can help you protect your positions. Don't be too caught up in your position. Sometimes it's best to just close the position and walk away. We definitely don't want people getting totally wrecked all the time. We do make money for the platform, for the holders when positions lose. But at the end of the day, I mean, we care about the individual. So just read up on this stuff, understand how this works. But also just know that from a features and functionality perspective, this is how you do these things in the platform. Now, it's not just adding to, right? You can also take from. So let's say things are going great. Maybe your position is way up. You say, you know what? I want to go ahead and remove my initial because I think that things are going great. Maybe you've doubled or even tripled your money. but you still have conviction in the play, but you want to make it risk free. So if this thing has gone up, I put in 2,000 to start with, the position is now worth 6,000. I want to take out 2,000. I can do that. Now, again, it's going to update and change all of the metrics about what's going to happen with the position down here. So we'll just say 1,000. So if I were to do that, it's going to up my liquidation price a little bit here. So it's going to make it a little more risky because I'm actually pulling collateral out, and it's shrinking the size of the position. But again, just recognize that you can add to a position or take away from a position at any time. You can also just straight up close a position from this same modal here. So if I said, you know what, I just don't think this is going to go my way, I'm going to go ahead and close this. You can do that. All right. Cool. So those are a lot of the sort of features and functionality that I wanted to show. One of the big things that I glazed right over intentionally, but I want to pause now and really call out is this change collateral token. So I've been using promo YDF for my demo, but you can use all kinds of different currencies here. So we've got all types of things that you can use to open a position with. So these are this is a list that we're going to continue to expand, but it's really an offering that we're not aware of anyone else in the market giving. So you can open positions with whatever currency you want. A lot of these currencies, like let's say you've got a really big GMX bag, you don't want to sell it because you think that things are things could change or what have you. You want to maintain that position with GMX. Well, you could use that here and actually open positions with GMX. And then the way it works is if you win, we pay you in YDF. But again, it keeps you from having to exit these various positions in order to actually use that as collateral. And so remember, this list is going to continue to grow. There's other ones available on the ETH mainnet, so you can go take a look at those. These are all just the Arbitrum ones. But all in all, this is a really cool feature, we think, and it's something that's very unique to YDF. Other differentiators for our platform is you may have noticed at no point was I prompted to log in, right? I simply connected my wallet. If you are familiar with DeFi, then you understand this inherently. You know that this is how DeFi works. But it's really hard to find a platform out there that allows you to, there's a couple, and we're one of them, but most of them are centralized, meaning that you do not actually control your positions. You are basically looking at numbers on a screen that their app is providing, but you don't actually hold your funds. That's not the case here, right? You are doing everything on chain. So we don't need you to log in. We don't need you to authenticate. We need you to simply connect your wallet and transact with the blockchain. That's one of the big benefits of using YDF and the YDF platform to do futures trading is you own everything. You own your keys. We don't want them. We just, you can go look at the smart contract. It's been totally audited, all that stuff. So we're securely handling those funds when you're opening positions. But at the end of the day, you do have those funds. And fun fact here, these positions are actually NFTs. So you may not know that, but you can actually open positions. And what it does is it basically creates an NFT that has all that data on it. Cool. And another note is when you're thinking about what collateral to use, just know that there is a little bit of a benefit to using YDF itself as collateral. So when you go to actually close a position, there's what they call a spread, and you can read all about this in the documentation. But it's a couple of percentage points that covers. So let's say you make $10, you're going to close a position that's worth $10. You'll actually get like $9.60 or something like that because of that spread. But with YDF, if you're using YDF as the collateral token, you don't get hit with that. So if you are closing a position that you opened with YDF as collateral that's worth 1,000 YDF, when you close that position, you're going to get 1,000 YDF. There's no spread to pay. So that's a little bit of a bump there in the profit, and a little bit of a benefit to using YDF itself as collateral. All right. So again, just keep an eye on things. Everyone needs to develop their own system. As you use the platform, you need to figure out, set alarms for yourself, maybe, set some types of alerts on different apps on your phone. But just pay attention. You don't want to try to set and forget these things. That usually does not go super well. So, all right. I think that's about it. Again, remember, you can do this on the Arbitrum network. You can also do this on ETH mainnet. We highly recommend Arbitrum simply because it's way cheaper. But hey, you may be one of these people opening, $2, $3, $5,000 positions and paying $50 in gas for something isn't a big deal to you. That you are more than welcome to come trade on our platform on ETH mainnet and pay those fees. Because it just may be worth it to you, right? I respect the ETH maxis, and we want to enable and welcome you. So cool. With that sort of wraps up the presentation. Again, there's a lot of stuff to show. If you want to look back on your history, you can look at your close positions. You can also look at everyone else's positions. So maybe if you're new to this and you say, I'd like to see what some of these people are doing because I don't really know what makes sense. You can click on these different filters and things here. So there's my two positions, the two most recent. They're already in the red, both of them. That's neat. So that's how it goes for me usually. But here's a big trade here. Looks like this guy's up 277. You can see he's trading against Solana, and he opened it at $82. It's at 91, and he's got 25x leverage. Okay, that's cool. So spend some time looking through this. You can actually learn quite a lot just from looking at how other people do things. Here's one. Looks like this Anon is not making out well. Trading Matic, a 4x long, so not a ton of conviction, but in it for the long run. Opened it at 86 cents. It's at 80. So we'll be praying for a bounce for you, number 1776. So yeah, so that's the dashboard here. The very last thing I did want to call out is make sure you're bragging about yourself. So if you're this guy down here, go generate a banner, right? So you can just click that button and it'll create these cool little thumbnail banners that have a QR code. Obviously the more people that use YDF, the better off we're all going to be. I hope if you're using the platform, you're also a YDF holder. But these are super, super simple, easy to use, very clean, professional ways to share out on Twitter and other social media platforms how your trades are doing and how things are looking. So make sure you're leveraging that. And then, of course, make sure that you are giving people your referral code. That's another big thing. So with that, I think that's the end of the presentation. So at this point, we'd love, like I said at the beginning, we'd love to hear questions from you all. If there's anything that you'd like addressed, maybe things I didn't speak to, features, functionality, if you have advice for us, we'd love to hear all that stuff. All right, let's see, just checking out comments here. Yeah, let's see, commodities, nice feature. So here's a question. All right. Do we have to pay extra gas if you add liquidity to your position? That is a great question. Tell you what, like a true software guy, I'm just going to test it live. So let's update. Let's add a little bit to my position. We all know the answer, by the way. The answer is yes. You always have to pay gas to transact with the blockchain. But yeah, so you do have to pay a little bit of gas. It's not crazy because it is Arbitrum. So you're paying a couple of nickels or a couple of dimes or whatever that equates to if you're not used to dollars. But yeah, you do have to pay gas to affect anything because what you're doing, technically speaking, is you're updating the data out on the blockchain. And in order to do that, you do have to pay gas. So, All right. When increasing a position size, can you change collateral token? That is a great question. The answer to that is no. So we basically can only use the original collateral for the position to add to, remove from, or close. So you can think of it as like it's just not compatible, right? Like you could easily take another token that you have and sell it for or trade it for the token that you have a collateral position in, if you want. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But no, you cannot use additional um, collateral tokens when opening or increasing a size. Let's see here. So another question, are collateral options different on Arbitrum and ETH? Let's take a look. Again, the answer is yes. We've got a lot more on Ethereum. So the reason why is because these different tokens as collateral options exist on these different chains, right? So for instance, I don't think like Bone has an Arbitrum offering. I don't think Hex is on Arbitrum. So obviously you couldn't use those or uh, use those as collateral on that blockchain because they're just simply not compatible with that blockchain. But some of these, like Ethereum, for example, Ethereum's on pretty much all the chains, right? There's some version of Ethereum on pretty much all these like L2 networks and stuff. So, yes. So the answer again is yes, the collateral is different based on uh, the blockchain that you are using, whether it be ETH or Arbitrum. Cool. What else we got? Let's see. I see a question in the comments. Is day trading profitable on the platform? Well, I would encourage you to get out the most telling tool that you can, which is a shiny mirror, and look into it and ask yourself, can I make this profitable? You certainly can, right? I mean, we all know crypto prices can swing pretty wildly just depending on the day. Sometimes things are flat, sometimes they're not. You could absolutely be profitable doing day trading on this. Open a position, a couple hours later, you could be up, 2, 3x. Depends on what it is, what your leverage is. But that's where you can also do some research on what you're actually opening a position against. So, for instance, right, like gold and silver, those prices do not swing as crazy, like as wildly as crypto does. Um, there's still movement, but my point is the position itself is going to probably have a different answer to that question based on the volatility with that particular position. All right. Let's see. Next question. How often does new collateral get added to the platform? So, pretty often. I don't know that we have a set cadence per se, but we are constantly evaluating new options. We do weigh. So in terms of collateral, we add collateral pretty often. If you've been in Telegram, you've seen it. I mean, it's been probably once a week for the past while, if not more than that. So adding a collateral option is not that hard. It's just the inclusion of that token on the back end, and adding the logo and the graphics and stuff into the platform to be able to use. So we can add it into the platform without a ton of effort. It just depends on what it is. Now, in terms of positions or pairs that you're betting against, those are a little less frequent. And the reason why is because, well, it's for a lot of reasons, but one of the big reasons is you want to be really careful. I say we as the YDF team want to be really careful what we add as a valid pair, because if we add something that is too volatile, we can or something that is not very liquid. Maybe it's got a small liquidity pool but a large market cap. Those prices can swing wildly, right, in a day or two. We had some hard lessons learned not long ago. Um, with Pepe and a few others. But those things are things that we consider deeply when we're adding positions. But in terms of collateral, yeah, we're adding collateral constantly. And if you guys are in other projects, you have a bag in that project, you'd love to use that as collateral, and it's not on the platform, reach out to them, reach out to us, set up a conversation. We would love to talk. All right. Yeah. Next question looks like I answered already. So yeah. What about new pairs? Yeah, those pairs, they are getting added as well. Not as often though, because of all of the factors involved in actually weighing the validity of those. There's also a lot more technical work to be done when we're adding a pair. Depends on what the pair is, but remember, we have to actually pull these feeds from somewhere. So we have to do this in a way that can't be hacked or manipulated. So we can't have people taking out flash loans, driving a price up, a certain percent that makes their long hit on YDF and then closing that and then paying the flash loan back, right? So like those are the types of things that we're defending against with our technical architecture. It's taken us a lot of time to develop that. We've learned a lot of lessons from other projects that have tried to do some of these things that didn't go so well. So for all intents and purposes, this is real time. I mean, you guys have seen the charts here updating in the background while we've been talking. So this thing does pretty much act in real time. So you can open a position, close it 5 minutes later if you want to. But there are some technical safeguards in place, and those do take time to develop. So anytime we add a new pair, we have to consider those. All right. Any other questions? Give it about 10 or 15 seconds here. Anything else, guys? All right. Cool. Well, again, if you're new to the platform, if you're just learning about this, the Perpetual Futures module here is on the left. I do encourage you to check out these others, though. Go take a look at some of the return rates you can get. If you guys stake in the liquidity side, you can get a 50% return. Single side, the max is 35% right now. You can also claim your rewards here. We have an NFT marketplace, so if you open up a stake, you are given an NFT that represents your position. That NFT can be traded and sold through our marketplace here. We also have some other cool features, a DAO, as well as um, some other things. So OTC, right? That's that's what I was trying to think of. OTC. So we can put together OTC packages as well. So a lot of features in the platform here, guys. We're very bullish about next year. That was one last thing I wanted to talk about is we will put some plans together to have another space or maybe another webinar like this. Not sure what the format will be, but in the near future, we'll have plans to get back on with everyone and share all the exciting plans that we have for next year. So 2024 is going to be a fantastic year. We are very bullish, very excited. We think crypto as a whole is hopefully going to keep moving in the direction it's been moving next year, and that rising tide will raise all ships, ours included, and hopefully ours goes a little faster because we got a little more behind us in the bull run. So again, very excited. Thank you guys so much for attending. If you have any other questions, please jump into the Telegram. Come meet everyone. Meet our awesome moderators, Sir Wellington and Crypto Joker, who, by the way, just asked if I could throw in 150x long real quick with 20K minimum. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Let me get my ledger out here. So I think Crypto Joker is on another level than the rest of us. I think that guy's just rolling in it or something because I don't think I have 20K to throw at this. So, but no, come meet the community, meet our mods. We really enjoy, answering questions, talking to people, meeting people. A lot of just good, solid people in the Telegram group. Great discussion. It's not like your typical sort of degen, DeFi, crypto group. It's honestly, it's pretty civilized and a lot of really, really smart people in there. So come meet people. And yeah, with that, we will sign off. And thank you again all for joining. And make sure that you go out on Twitter and other social media platforms and share this recording with the community. All right. Thanks, guys.